what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, the update has finally arrived. The beasts of the sanctuary are loose, and we have our hands on Khora and 3 new weapons. So I'm super excited to show all of this off to you. Of course, this is going to be a bit of a first look. However, since I'm Mastery Rank 25, I've got a whole bunch of mod points that I could go ahead and toss in initially to kind of give you guys a little bit of a first look as well. And as you can see, that Khora stance is popping. Look at her. I do have to make a couple notes just in case for you guys that are doing your customizations. One of the things that you do need to be aware of is that when you are coloring her, make sure you go into her attachments and you turn on hidden, and you make sure to color those as well. You can go ahead and copy main colors over, because as you can see, she cycles through a couple different ones depending on which kavat she has up. Same thing goes for her SANDR. Right now, this is the Khora SANDR, so this is what comes in her pack, and we'll show that off for a second. But if you do just want to do her base ones, those are called Khora spikes, and again, you do have like the option to kind of color it as an additional thing. So do note that it's a SANDR, kind of like shoulder pieces for certain Warframes, that kind of comes in their default. And while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at her alternate helmet as well, which is the Delphi helmet. We've got some little dangly bits here and there. However, I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of prefer the default. So let's go ahead and jump into that. But before we do, I do want to make sure to show off that you can use 2 kavats at once, because some people were asking if you could actually do that, and it is a thing, and it also does not look like it interferes with the mods that you have actually equipped on Venari. So that's nice. They're not like competing with each other. They're friendly. They're friendly. I'm going to unequip them because we are about to head into the simulacrum. But real quick before we jump on in, I did want to go ahead and show you guys the Khora collection is available for $7.25, and that does come with Khora, the Delphi helmet, the Hystrix, the dual carries, and the Khora SANDR. So the Veldt you will have to pick up individually. Be sure you are aware of that, but also if we want to take a look at it, the Hystrix and the Hystrix and the dual dual Keres. Those ones are both available in the market for credit, so you can go ahead and pick up those blueprints ASAP if that is what you're looking to do, or you could just pick them up straight out the gate. The Veldt, however, is available in your clan dojo, so make sure you guys get to researching that as soon as you get a chance. Now let's just go ahead and jump straight on into the simulacrum. I'll show you exactly what mods I am using, and then we'll go ahead and do our little bit of a first look. Okay, so Future Rob jumping in here real quick because I completely forgot to mention the fact that Khora is available during the new onslaught missions. Now, as you guys know, there are actually 2 different mission types. There's the standard, and then there's the elite kind of like challenge mode types. Now, DE was kind enough to give us all of the drop tables for these, as well as the percentages of their drops, and I noticed that if you're gonna want to farm up Khora, you just want to stick to the original base mission type, because there is a larger percent for her to be available there. So that's what I'm going to give you stats on right now. If you guys are curious about the elite drops, I'll actually just go ahead and have a link to the hotfix notes down in the description box below, so you can go ahead and take a look at that for yourself. But rotation A contains the chassis, or the chassis as I like to say, which is an 8.33% chance to drop. Rotation B has the Khora neuroptics, and that is a 7.69% chance to drop. You see that? I like that there. And then we've also got Khora systems and blueprints on rotation C, which is a 5.64% chance to drop. So if you guys are interested in just grinding for Khora instead of picking her up during instead of any of the sets that are available for flat, go ahead and search her out there and start with the base missions instead of the elite ones. Regardless, I'll go ahead and toss it back to past Rob, because if not, I'm gonna start squeeing over the Captura scenes that are also available that I need to get my hands on. Alright, so let's start things off with the Veldt. Now, I'm gonna say that this is really strange because it feels kind of like a sniper slash, automatic rifle combined into one. You actually have a little bit of a zoom on this, so I almost want to call it a hunting rifle. Listen, I don't know a thing about real life guns, so I'm not trying to play around with that. But as you guys could see, it does have a high crit chance at 22%, a high status chance at 22% as well, a nice critical multiplier at 2.2 times. The only thing for me is, as I was playing with this, I did feel like the fire rate was a little bit low, but I don't have a full build on it yet. So as you can see, here are the mods that we are currently using. Of course, this is not going to be enough to take down a level 155. I did drop it down to level 100 so you guys can kind of see what's going on with it. But as you can see right here, initially, you're probably going to want to put some fire rate mods on this because it is a bit slow. However, you do also have the ability to zoom in. I actually, looking at it now, I actually feel like this is going to be a very good candidate for Hunter's Munitions. As you can see, it's got some good slash procs of its own, but I think once we get some more mods in there, it'll be able to stand a little bit tougher against that, because that is a level 100. I think that, you know, we could do 155s once we get a full build on it. Now, moving on to the Hystrix, a lot of people are very, very curious about this one, and the thing that I do kind of need to put out there into the universe is they did kind of keep its, you know, tone down a little bit by giving it 100% status chance to proc, you know what I mean? It does have the ability to force, I guess you would say force proc, the quills that it's using. So as you can see, each individual quill is sitting there and it's got its own little, it's got its own elements and setups. All of them, I believe, have the same stats. Nothing too crazy about it, but it does have its own elemental damage added on in top of that. But yeah, so it's got a high critical chance sitting at 24. Nice solid critical multiplier at 2.2 times. Status chance is actually 10%, which is nice because I do feel like the images that they showed to us were 6%. So it's got a little bit of a boost when it comes to that. And gonna be completely honest with you, it almost looks like it lost its elemental damage, so we might actually have to change that just a little bit because I did kind of make the build around that. So let's go ahead and toss in Pistol Pestilence so we can actually have corrosive damage on this thing, because it actually, look, if we actually take it off completely, there is no elemental damage on them. So I believe that the quills are only forcing the elements instead of actually having the elemental damage on there. So you'll see that in a second. So we've got corrosive on this, remember that. And let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're gonna start things off with, I guess, Poison Quill. So as you can see, we're here and we're taking on this guy, and we're firing off a bunch of Poison Quills. So this actually works very, very similarly to what is it called? To the Acrid, where every hit forces a, by the way, that was pretty nice. Against a level 100, not fucking bad at all. And this isn't even a full build yet, so this is definitely a weapon we're going to take a closer look at. And in fact, just so that you guys know, every weapon that we see here, we will be doing a full-on, and then we could change to electric quills. And you'll occasionally, because of the fact that it's got a 10% status chance, it's actually not terrible. It's not terrible. So we're rotating through these, and the procs that you get are actually just based on the quill, not necessarily the damage that's on the weapon. However, you still do have that 10% modded up to get that. Let me just make sure that those were the raw stats on it, because I also don't want to speak out of my ass. Let's see, Hystrix. So we are sitting at status is 51% already. That's actually not freaking half bad with just the mods that we have on it. Am I crazy? Because 10% shouldn't be up that much. It seems to be responding to status a lot better than I thought it would. Right? Like, oh, it looks like the status chance at its base, oh, it's because it's also being affected by multi-shot right there too. So, we'll see exactly how that goes regardless. I'm really excited for this one. This is definitely one that I will be taking a close look at very, very soon because I'm liking it. Now let's move on to the dual Keres. This thing I can already tell straight out of the gate is nice and strong. So as you can see, 28% critical chance, 2.6 critical multiplier, and 14% status, and it's got a high slash in its IPS spread. So you know we're gonna run this with a little bit of we're gonna be running this with a little bit of viral. So definitely one that I would have you guys play around with. Because as you can see, it's doing really well on a level 100. I'm almost considering, let's bump this up to level 155s real quick, just to see, because I feel like this weapon is strong enough right in its current state to take on a 155. So let's do this. And it's got just enough status chance too. It's got just enough status chance to like, to be able to kind of do that. Maybe we might even put like a Weeping Wounds on this thing. I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah. So all of the weapons that Khora came with, the Hystrix and the dual oh my god, dual Keres are very much a thumbs up. The only one that I'm kind of like meh on right now is the Veldt. The Veldt is one of those ones that we'll just kind of have to see exactly how it all plays out. Now, I'm gonna go do a little bit of leveling. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more playing, maybe a little bit of onslaught and all that kind of stuff. I'll get more information out to you as soon as I get a chance, but at least you got a first look at these weapons and exactly how they perform and which ones are worth investing in. Right now, if you are thinking of picking up the Khora Deluxe Pack, it's definitely something that I've got a thumbs up on. And for everybody who won the Khora Day 1 access during my Nodo-Iho, don't forget that that should be coming to you as well. I contacted Taylor yesterday, and she did say that she would be delivering them as soon as she got a chance. So that about does it for me for now. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo kitty. I was going to say pussy. I just said pussy. I might as well say pussy. Bye.